Hey food before lovers, as promised, it is your girl Danny Dares here. We are going live. I hope that y'all are having a good Sunday. Hope that by the time you're watching this, if you're not live with us now, that you had a good brunch or a good Sunday at home, self-care Sunday, whatever Sunday means to you or was important to you today. I hope that happened for you. See, we have, is it a Belle Renee Noir? Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining. If you guys want to say where you're checking in from, let us know. I am actually here in New York, in Harlem. And actually, I have a little brunch drink with me. It's actually just sorrel. My family's Caribbean, so some sorrel. A little brunch mocktail for today. Hey, Foodie Box. Thanks for joining. Oh, Miss Farah, you're in Brooklyn. Cool. Have you been to any of the Food Before Love meetups before? Since you're here in New York? And we do them in other cities too. Got my notes here so that I'm prepared and I remember everything that I said I was going to say to you guys. Okay, so let's get started. Let's just jump right in. Again, welcome to this live event or live broadcast with Food Before Love. My name is Danny Dares. I am one of your Food Before Love insiders. Pretty much we are a team that is dedicated to not only talking about how much we love food and getting people together who also love food, but we like to share information with you to help you up your foodie swag, to let you know about places that are fun to go to and help educate you so that you also know how to expand your palate, expand your overall foodie experience. So again, today we are talking about 5 lessons that every foodie should know or learn before their 30s. So I will admit I am now in my 30s, so some of these are things that I learned. Yeah, I think most of them are things that I learned before my 30s. And I'll share there are some things that I'm still learning, still getting better at, because you can always be learning. And I just love being here in New York City because there are so many opportunities to learn about food, to explore food, to try new things, and other cities as well. Like if anyone's checking in from Chicago, from Atlanta, from Seattle, I've had some great food experiences in Seattle, or anywhere, around the world, there's food experiences everywhere. So with all of that said, it's Sunday, it's brunch time. So if there are any brunch lovers, I want to remind you guys to sign up for the New York City Brunch Guide. Again, there you'll find some of the places that we love, some of the places that we recommend, that we've tried, personally have tried to see how it was, and we like them enough to recommend them to you. So we will share all of that information. It's all in the different links in the Food Before Love bio, so you can find them there. Also, you can always go to foodbeforelove.com to find out about some of the things I'm going to reference. So again, let's get started. So number 1, some of you, if you've been following Food Before Love for a while, may have seen the videos that we did before about this. So one of the first lessons I think that we should all learn before our 30s, we should learn how to pronounce things. So it is always helpful to just know what we're saying so that we and educate ourselves on what that thing actually is. So if we don't understand what the word is, look it up, ask someone how to pronounce it and ask them what it is. It's always fair to just be candid about what you don't know and explore the opportunity to learn. So in the videos that we've done before, we talked about some words like chipotle, pho, gnocchi, salmon, quinoa, foie gras. Some of these things are more common than others. Some of these things you might see on a more consistent basis. Some of these things you might not see often, or maybe when you only go to the fancy places. But again, why not educate ourselves on how to say these words, what they actually are? And I will also say in that note is to know what certain words mean, because some words, it tells you how something is prepared. So for example, a word like seared. If you see a dish that's seared, you don't want to be surprised when it comes out what that even means. So just for example, seared means that something is cooked only on the outside, so it won't be cooked all the way through. So if you got a seared tuna or a seared salmon or something like that, you want to know ahead of time what you're getting so that your expectations are realistic and you can make an educated decision before ordering that. All right. Hey, Ash. Thanks for joining. So we are now on tip number 2. So on a similar note of being educated and knowing what you're getting yourself into when you're going out to eat, I would say it's fair to know, fair for you to know different kinds of cuisines and what those kind of cuisines offer. So let's say your friend hits you up and says, hey, you want to go out for Indian food tonight, or I'm doing my birthday at an Indian place. And maybe you've never had Indian food before. You can expect curries, you can look forward to naan, you can look forward to dal, things like that. If you're going to Italian, you can look forward to pastas, rich garlic flavors. Caribbean food, you can look forward to peas and rice, jerk chicken, the kind of seasonings, the spices. If you're going to get Nigerian food, you know that you can look forward to those spices. And I believe Nigerians have jollof rice, right? Like that's one of those big things that's part of the culture. Mexican food, you can get quesadillas, tacos. Like Peruvian food, always get the green sauce because it adds a nice little flavor. If you're going for Thai food, what's a signature Thai dish? Pad Thai, made with peanuts. Things like if you have an allergy, good to know just what you're getting yourself into. And again, it's always fair to look this stuff up beforehand because you're not expected to know everything, but there's always an opportunity to learn, right? So why not look it up, check the menu out beforehand just so you can get familiar and you know what you're getting yourself into so you can make better educated decisions and have an overall better experience when you actually go out, right? Okay, cool. So number 3 in being educated and knowing what we are getting so that we can explore new things, I want to touch on having like a knowledge of cocktails and spirits. So there are some like classic cocktails that you've probably heard of, like a Cosmopolitan, a Long Island iced tea, a margarita, a martini, and it just helps if you know kind of the basics of what these things mean. So like a Cosmopolitan is going to be vodka based, so it helps to know your spirits. You have your vodka, gin, rum, tequila, you have your Scotch, whiskey, bourbon, and your cognacs. And tequila, you're gonna go margaritas. With rum, you're gonna do like your island punches. So you can do a Bahama Mama, you can get your Mai Tai, you can do a dark and stormy. And in rum, it's good to know you have your spiced rums and you have your clear rums. Just things like that are good to know. And then you have your drinks like your Manhattans, you have your old fashions. There are some things that are better for sipping, like your cognacs. So like a Hennessy is going to be a good sipping thing. Like a Macallan, that's a sipping spirit, right? So again, just knowing the basic things of what the basic spirits are, general knowledge of what you can do with those so that you can play within that. And know again what you're getting and be able to better like fine tune your palate and fine tune what you like and what you don't like. Okay, so we are on to number 4. So in going out, we've all done it. We've gone out with a group of friends and we know that sometimes this can get really tricky, whether it's like somebody showed up late or it's a little awkward because everyone doesn't know each other, or you get to the restaurant and you have to wait a long time, or some scenarios, maybe you got there and you had to sit at 2 separate tables, and we all know the dreaded situation of when the check comes and there are a lot of people. So this tip is about helping to make that experience a little bit smoother. If you are the one that's planning it and you make your reservation for 8 o'clock, I think it's very fair to tell your friends to meet sometime between 7:30 and 7:45. Something always happens, like whether it's traffic, the train, that friend that just happens to be late. Give yourself and your friends that time to have that little cushion. Some people, we call it the false time, right? Time to meet at the bar, grab a drink, take your pictures, catch up. Just giving yourself that wiggle room so that you're not late for your reservation and possibly lose your table, possibly set back other reservations as a result of that. I work in a restaurant, so this is my kind of experience from the back end. So again, just that false time so everybody gets there. And if you're the one that's coming, make sure you are on time. It makes a big difference because it's not always fair to the people who got there on time to wait, right? And especially if you're already you didn't eat lunch today, or you didn't eat before you came and now you're hungry, and now people start getting hangry because they're hungry. Now they have to wait a little bit longer and it's a whole lot going on. So again, just being on time. Again, you can always look at the menu beforehand if that helps, just so you have a better idea of what you're getting yourself into. Another thing that I do when I'm going out is I grab cash before I go to the restaurant. It just makes the process easier. I grab cash. If possible, I try to make change, so it makes it easier to pay the bill at the end. And then remember, there are also fun tools like Venmo, Cash App, Chase Quick Pay, and there's also an app group out, they help you plan dinner so that there is no splitting the check at the end. So just stuff like that, knowing how to make that check process easier. And again, you know, I work in the hospitality industry, so I always like to tell people 20% is your friend. Tipping 20% is just, it's pretty much the standard, especially here in New York City. You know, it's a nice courtesy. It's always appreciated by the staff. So I would say 20% is something to factor in when you're going out to eat. Remember that you're thinking about your drinks, your food, your tax, and your tip at 20%. 20%. This sounds super simple. Remembering just to be nice, whether it's to the other guests that you're with if you don't know them, or to the maitre d', the hostess, to the people that are your waitress, anyone who's bringing your food or walking by, anything like that. Just remember to be nice, because remember, in those situations when we are hangry, sometimes the manners slip out the door, and it helps. You get usually a lot faster what you need, and you get further along, and everybody has a better time if everybody can just practice being a little bit nicer. All right, and we are on to number 5. So let's say you love going out to eat, you love trying new things, and all that's good, because I am one of those people. But I also know that it's not necessarily sustainable to go out to eat every single day for every single meal. So I would say for step number 5, try to make some of this stuff at home, whether it's your favorite cocktail that you've tried or a dish that you really love that you always order that isn't maybe that hard to make. Why not try learning how to make some of that stuff at home? Some of the brunch favorites like avocado toast, or some cocktails like sangria. Those are things that are not really hard to make. And this is coming from someone who I'm not a cook and not a chef. But these are things you can make at home. And what I love doing at home also is that you get to remix it. You can customize it. You can experiment with it. So like, let's say mimosas, for example, brunch classic. There's pretty much on every brunch menu possible. But what I like to do is whenever I'm making mimosas at home is I'll add something different. So like I told you guys earlier, I'm drinking sorrel now. I've made sorrel mimosas. I've made passion fruit mimosas. My friend Alyssa loves sangria. She puts different things in her sangria. So just try different things at home, experiment with them, and then you can save up your money so that when you do go out, you can actually indulge in those experiences and it doesn't feel as stressed because you're not going out all the time. And then I would say maybe this is a video for another day, because again, this is a lesson that I am also still learning. But in making these things at home, knowing the different hosting tips, like just because cooking for yourself is different than cooking for a group of people, right? But in educating yourself on just different things of how to host and all that. So I actually say to be continued on that, because I'm still learning. Maybe we can learn that together and do another video. So those are my 5 tips. Just a quick recap. Number 1, know how to pronounce things and know what different words mean. Number 2, knowing the different like standard dishes and the different popular dishes that come with different cuisines and different cultures, right? Number 3, knowing your basic spirits and cocktails. Number 4, dining out etiquette. And number 5, knowing how to do all that or some of this stuff yourself, making these things and these dishes and cocktails yourself. So if anybody has any questions or comments, wants to join or add anything in, I am down. I'm open. Hey, I see Lolo's here. I love Lolo's. They're right around, not too far from me, over here in Harlem. Ken Girl, thanks for joining. Jock Your Empress, thank you guys for being here. All right, and as we wrap up, again, I just want to remind you guys to sign up for the NYC Brunch Guide. Again, those are some of our favorite places that we've tried. We like them enough to recommend them. And just check out the Food Before Love website. You'll find the YouTube page, the link to the YouTube page there for the videos that I mentioned. You'll find different blog posts. There's actually a post about reinventing your Sunday brunch for when you're making things at home. So again, we are a fun resource of food, from recipes to places to go to different education about events, food in general, all that good stuff. We love to meet you guys. We love to see what you have to offer, what you know, because we don't know everything. We're always eating so that we can always learn and share even more. Bye for now, and see my pin, Bad and Boozy. That's my Food Before Love pin. Just wanted to point that out because it's actually one of my favorite pins ever. So thanks again for joining. I'll see y'all soon. And happy Sunday!